Just a quick reminder that you can check us out every week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. You can also join our Discord or Reddit page at r/SplitViewPodcast. Links are all on our YouTube channel. How's it going, everyone? Welcome on back. I said I wasn't going to do this episode. I actively said I wasn't going to do this.
Yeah.
We record Split View and then Flick View. But today we decided to watch the movie and then record it directly after so that we'd be able to talk about it better.
It seems like a good idea because it's fresh in my mind.
I'm feeling pretty good right now. I thought I might be a little bit too tired or whatever to do it after we've done all the filming, and we even recorded a little skit which you guys will be able to see at some point in the future when we're done with it.
I'm excited to edit it. So
it looks
probably
like a
pretty
lot
soon.
of fun, and I'm pretty sad that I might not be here when it's done if I'm camping.
Okay.
But yeah, so I said in Split View that I had watched Artemis Fowl. Previously, I watched it.
That turned out to be false?
I had seen it. But
Did you really
I watched
watch it,
I
though?
watched it in the
Theater?
mindset that I would just make fun of it for a few minutes on Split View, because you know how we kind of go through what
Yeah.
we've watched in the week.
Yeah.
And, you know, I took some notes on it, and Tom wanted to watch it. So
It was a good idea, though.
it was
really
a good idea. I tell you what, I still have a lot to say
I'll
about
tell
it.
you what.
I tell you what.
Can I give my fresh take on it now that I've seen
Please
it?
do.
This movie is so confusing and so muddled and so temporally abhorrent. It is just I routinely turned to Jordy and was like, why is this happening? Who is this? Was that ever explained? Is it going to be explained? And what is happening again?
All right, Tom, guide us through this journey. Tell me, where does our story start,
I'm
Tom?
not even joking. I can't. I'm not even joking, and we just watched the movie. I'm not even
Well,
joking.
do you want me to give you a bit of a hint then?
I legitimately don't even remember how the movie started. I don't remember what happened after the black and white scene.
It starts with some establishing shots of our main man, Artemis Fowl, surfing. Quite extensively surfing.
I think that's a lie, Jordy. That wasn't even
No,
Artemis
that
Fowl
was
surfing.
not him. That was definitely another
That
man
was
doing
some
it.
Samoan/Asian guy surfing.
Yeah.
Who was 2 feet taller than Artemis Fowl.
Everything about this movie is sort of like, oh, okay, this is going to come up later. I better remember this. And none of it does.
Yeah.
Not one bit of it.
Yeah.
And, okay, the elephant in the room, the voice acting,
The
the acting in general, not just voice acting.
It's every child in this movie is terrible. I said to Jordy, I'm convinced the director is just incompetent.
And I have to agree with you. Because
Yeah. You can direct someone the emotion wasn't there at all. I feel like the crew and the cast were literally just not given the context of the scene that they were performing.
I think it's that, and also 90% of these actors have never been in anything before, as far as I'm aware.
I guess.
And it shows. It fucking shows. And
Judi Dench was not performing very good.
she was
though.
terrible too.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie was terrible.
She was speaking with a gruff voice for no discernible
For some reason, the creative direction behind it was that she was going to have crippling emphysema.
Yeah.
Because does she talk like that normally? I don't remember.
I was thinking, what if she just sounds like that? But I don't think that's true.
That's definitely a voice she's putting on, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she's not Irish.
Did she have an Irish accent?
Yeah, a very
Really?
vague one, just like everyone else in this movie.
Again, we just watched
For-
the movie, and I can't tell Jordy these simple details.
Every fucking line had about one word which was pronounced in an Irish accent, and they are supposed to be in Ireland, on the shores of Ireland, and they actively mentioned Irish folklore and all that shit, and it's fucking nonsense. Every 10 words is pure American, and except for the last one where they're like about.
I don't understand why.
This movie was made. Why anyone bothered?
Okay.
The fuck we watched? Why I've seen this twice now?
If this wasn't a Disney movie, it wouldn't have been released. Disney, if Disney's, they probably invested a fuckload of money into this movie.
How?
It's
You saw it. Where was that money going?
I think it just
There
went
was
on
nothing
for a
that
while.
was dazzling about it.
I think it just literally went on for a while. Because I said to Jordy very early on that the kid looks older and younger in certain scenes. And he's at that age where he ages very quickly.
Yeah. Or at least it shows that he's aging.
Yeah, some scenes he just literally looks younger than he was, or older than he was. So I think this movie's just been in production hell. I think that's just what this is.
And you know what? I would believe that.
Yeah.
I really would. But okay, maybe let's talk to our lovely listeners about the plot of this movie.
It's something about a tree and like. Okay, what is the thing called again? The Ortoris or something?
The Aculos.
Is that what it was? The
No,
Aculos?
you were not close at all. I was joking.
Is it the Aculos?
It's the Aculos.
I didn't know what the fuck the Aculus was for like the longest. I didn't understand what it did or what it was or why people wanted it. Literally, literally, like every character in this movie is compelled to get the Aculos, and you don't know what it is, you don't know what it does, you don't know why they want it for like 75% of the movie.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the random
it's an
fairy sorcerer in the Shadow Realm
Yeah.
has Artemis Foul's dad, whose name is Artemis
Why
Fowl
did he
as
take
well.
him? Why did he take him?
Just doesn't matter, Tom. Shut up.
Yep,
He takes him, and the ransom is for his life. He wants the articulate. You know,
The Ortoris? What is it called again?
I
don't
knew
know
that
what
would
it's-
fuck you
What
up.
is it called again?
The article.
Aculoris.
Oh my god, sorry for that.
Ac-
Aculos, dude.
Oh, I can't. Like,
The Articuno.
That is the stop. I can
The
actually
Arctic Circle.
feel it being deleted from my brain when you say something different. Like I literally felt that information disappear.
So
What is it called?
So the
Aculon.
ransom for the Arcane Studios is
Literally, there's something weird happening in my brain. Literally, I was about to say it. You said something else, and I felt the information being ripped away.
okay.
Like,
So our fellows in the story,
Yeah.
here, they're in search of the archaeology, and
what are you doing? What is this?
I'm having too much fun with myself right now.
Okay.
Okay, they're in search of the Aculos. That's the
Okay.
name
Oh
of it.
my god! Finally.
The whole movie. That's the key, right? That's what everyone wants.
Aculos.
Now, for the first, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes of this movie, they kind of talk about random fairies and goblins and all that shit. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's Disney. It's like cute fairy tale stuff. And then all of a sudden, actually, it's all real. And fairies are real, and dwarves are real.
No.
And there's a city in the center of the earth.
No. It was never presented that these things were not real.
I guess that's true.
Like it was never like
I guess that is true.
We had subtitles on, so it's like if we didn't have subtitles, I would not understand what was
Fuck
happening.
no, dude. Fuck
I would
no.
I would just watched colors on a screen if we didn't have subtitles. But
even with subtitles, it felt like that at times.
That's what I'm saying. Even with subtitles, I was struggling to understand what was happening.
I don't like. Okay, if two, dare I say, adults watching this,
Yeah.
can't grasp at any point what was happening, how the fuck is a kid gonna do it?
I feel this is the thing. I feel like they were saying what was happening, but something about the way this movie is made, that information is just not in a format where it can be received by common brains. Like I just feel like it's like that. Like there was a good example is there's one scene where a troll is in the mansion and it's like breaking stuff, and like there are about 5 characters all individually doing things.
Yeah,
Like they're just moving. Like there were just shots of characters.
I want to say it was about a 5-minute shot. Right? And there's one character, Holly, who is a fairy, but is not a. If I told everyone listening right now that she was a fairy,
You think she was tiny?
you would think that she was tiny, right? But
And
she's normal.
It looks like she's tiny.
The
When you first see,
perspective for the first half of the movie is that she's tiny.
like the way they set it up, they go into a crack in the earth, and it looks like a tiny little
It's
elfin
like
village.
if you've ever seen The Grinch, you know at the start when all the snowflakes are coming down, and like the live action one I'm talking about, and it fucking zooms in on one of the snowflakes, and that's where Whoville is. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it
the
looks
whole
like that.
time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like so you think they're fucking tiny, and even the perspective, the way it's shot, makes you think they're tiny.
Yeah, and they're elves,
and then
so you assume they're tiny.
exactly. And then she gets fucking propane launched by magma from the center of the earth out a volcano,
She
and all of a
gets
sudden
launched
she's
in
normal
a
size.
Tic Tac as well, like even more skewing like the perspective of things. And I didn't understand why she was being launched. I said Geordie, I was like, why is this happening? I don't think Geordie even
I
like
can't tell
remembered
you.
why
All
that
I
happened.
could do was sit there smiling and watching because I don't know. I watched this by myself
Yeah.
because I was just bored.
Do you really watch this by yourself?
I watched it by
Why?
myself. Yeah, I don't know why I did. I was just bored, and I was like, I want to see what the hype was around this, or not the hype, but like why it sucked so bad. And I just felt like watching a bad movie, so I watched it. And it follows not a single fucking guideline or even remote framework of a kid's movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, the plot is more extensive than reading a fucking Game of Thrones novel. Like, reading them rather than watching it. It is absurd that they think a child would be able to follow this or understand it all.
So
what is
hard
happening
to follow what is happening. Like, it's really like it's an hour and 30 minutes, and it should have been like 2 hours, maybe. They had
it shouldn't.
No, what I'm saying is that because it's so compressed, things happen so quickly. Like,
it's literally about 10 minutes into the movie it kicks off.
Yeah, it's complicated.
There is no lubing or foreplay. This movie just fucks you.
There is weird, like, vor scenes in this movie.
It's not vor, but it's fucking strange.
It's dirt vor.
I did mention this on last week's Split View. There's also mining dwarves who mine with their mouths. He pulls his mouth like a troll face, literally like a troll face,
like a shitty YouTube video you'd see in the early 2000s.
It reminds me of like a weird Corridor Digital video, in a way. Yeah, and he pulls his mouth open because he has to break into.
Literally, he pulls his mouth open.
Yeah, and it is horrifying, by the way. It's as
really
horrifying as it sounds. He pulls his mouth open to break into the Foul Manor so that they can try and get the Aculos.
He dug into the Foul Manor, but he still broke stuff on the ground.
That's true, because he was surface level mining.
Why was he doing? Why would you? Why not just walk in through the front door?
I don't know.
If it's that apparent that you're breaking in.
I think there was some weird tradition where you can't break into a house. It's very traditional something.
Really?
They couldn't enter the house if there's people alive in there or something. They tried to explain this shit, but it is so fucking strange.
It is odd, yeah. I don't get it.
There's so many strange, like the time warp things.
Oh my god! What the fuck even was that?
So at first they used this thing called a time. Fucking hell! I was supposed to remember this.
I think it's a time freeze.
Time
maybe?
freeze.
Yeah.
They use a time freeze, right? Because apparently a troll got out of the center core of the Earth. A troll escaped somehow. And you can tell it has about the fucking brain power of a fucking cabbage, because it's just knocking shit and wrecking stuff, right?
Yeah.
And somehow it escaped the center of the Earth and got into the human world. So they send fucking the A-Team out.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah. They go out through the center of the Earth. Okay, all these fairies.
They don't send the A-Team.
Fairies.
They send a single fairy.
No, but then everyone else comes to go and drag
That's after
her
the time
away.
warp.
So they send just one to scout and save it, right? So they use this time warp thing, which is like a bubble, and in that bubble, all of time stops. Time freeze, sorry. And so time does freeze in this first one.
Yeah,
in the first one.
It freezes time in a spherical region.
And it works perfectly. It works. You know, everyone stops. They take the troll out, and, you know, they wipe everyone's brains like Men in Black style.
Using ice cream cones. And they lift the troll back to the center of the Earth, and then that's it. Until later on in the movie when they need to use the time freeze again. And it doesn't do...
And it does nothing.
It does... Literally,
it freezes one man on a boat.
It does something completely different. It's like a fucking bubble shield that has a little unit at the top, and it doesn't freeze the things inside of it.
It
doesn't.
I feel like there might have been a part in the movie where they said we need him alive, so you can't freeze him.
I don't think that's true.
I could just be making that up. I probably
because nothing except the fisherman is frozen. Literally, it only freezes a single thing. It's like it only freezes what it's directly touching at the corner, and it kills you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't kill you. It just fucking
those fairies died. The fairies died. Remember, they touched it, and they.
But they just got stretched around and spit out the other end.
They literally said, "We lost." Another one.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
It killed fairies.
Disney movie, by the way,
but it didn't kill the main character because obviously
This movie was surprisingly dark for Disney, man.
Yeah, okay.
Wasn't it? Don't you agree?
There was that one scene. I don't care about spoilers because you shouldn't watch this movie.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, you should watch it because it's funny.
You shouldn't watch this movie. Don't do it. I've seen it twice.
I think
I've wasted 3 hours of my life watching this.
We were laughing quite a bit watching it.
No, I wasn't the first time.
Okay, but if you watch it in a like a so bad it's good context, it's funny. There was one scene where like someone did, you know how there's death scenes in movies where someone's laying on a bed,
Oh, yeah.
like
Weak, like I can barely.
come with me, Jimmy.
more thing
You
to
gotta,
say to you.
yeah, you gotta let go.
love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he was sitting up, and he was, and Artemis,
Perfectly fine.
Artemis
like
was
he was going
looking
for a snooze.
Yeah, yeah, he literally looked like he was some old man lapping in a napping in a lazy chair, lazy boy. But Artemis was looking up, and there was a shot framed down, which you just don't do. Like you shoot up because you're
Yeah.
looking down on someone, and I thought he was going to die, and I was like, "Why is there a death
Well,
scene?
technically,
Someone
he
sitting
did
up."
die.
And then someone shouts a voice command. Like apparently the magic system works on like Google Assistant. Like you can just shout commands at like
No,
something.
they screamed out to the officials and said, "Turn on the magic, boys,"
They said, "Squad unblock."
or something like that.
Like
And then someone flicks the switch, Kronk, and then all of a sudden, one of our main characters, Holly, can all of a sudden bring
yeah.
what's his name again?
Butler?
No, you never call him that, dude.
Oh, nothing.
Never-
Why was that even a
Told
thing?
you it doesn't come back.
Yeah,
At
why-
the start of the movie, they're like, with the most terrible voice actor in the world, he goes, "And if there's one thing you don't do,"
You
I made him into a
call
pirate. I didn't mean to do that.
You never call him.
Never
the
call
butler.
him the butler.
Or butler.
And
How
that
does he
never
know
happens.
that? How does he know that?
I'm guessing it's because he did it.
Because he told him.
Because he's making those shitty jokes the whole time about stuff that he's done through the whole
Fun
movie.
fact about the butler: if you call him the butler, something happens. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what else there is to talk about in this move.
There's plenty to talk about
Okay.
in this movie still.
This move was really weird. Like I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single person out there who's going to gain any genuine enjoyment from this movie.
I enjoyed watching
You
it.
ca-
I
you-
did. I really
no,
did.
No. Not from the actual movie
I
itself.
was laughing and
You
so
were
confused.
laughing at the fact that it doesn't make sense. It's fucking shit.
Yeah, but if you-
no one is going to go, "Oh man, I remember when I was a kid. You know, we'd all huddle around the TV and watch Artemis Fowl."
Yeah, but that's a so bad it's good movie. Like you watch a Neil Breen or something, and it's like it's
Suppose
so
so, yeah.
bad you laugh at it because of how terrible it is, and it's fucking Disney produced
It is a
production.
high grade stinker. This
Yeah,
movie.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
hyper stinky.
It's one of those
this
rare
fucking
ones.
Movie. Like it.
If this
I
was,
am trying very hard to think of someone who would get some like genuine enjoyment from it, not just because it's bad.
what like enjoy it in the context. It's
Like have
Oh, no
fun
one, dude.
with the
No one.
experience of the movie, rather
So
than
so many
laughing
times
at the fact that it sucks. Fuck.
the movie's basically narrated by the Vor dwarf at the beginning of the movie,
Dwarf.
and he makes such like weird jokes that don't land
Also,
ever.
he speaks entirely in mid range, so you can't hear
Yeah.
him if you have shit speakers in your TV.
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
really bad.
You will never be able to understand
like-
him. Along with most people in this movie, because they all kind of speak in that fucking
Yeah.
voice for some
It's
reason.
like, you know, Artemis Fowl was a good boy. He's a best boy kind of thing. You
He's
know,
the best point.
yeah, best boy. There were like 30 dancers credited in this movie's credits, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I was literally about to say maybe we should rewatch it
No,
to see it, but then my brain immediately was like, "You're tired. Go to
Yeah.
sleep, man. You don't need this shit."
okay,
I think. Okay, I was about to ask you, would you recommend this movie?
I would, yes, because it's really funny. It really is.
Look,
It's so funny.
if you have
Don't
some
go into
drugs,
it seriously. No, just don't go into. If the only thing is that you should go into this knowing it's a shit movie. That's what you should do.
If there is anything that anyone takes from this review, quote
It's
unquote,
that Artemis Fowl
it's
is
that
shit.
this movie fucking sucks.
It's really
There
bad.
is not a redeemable part about this movie. The acting is shit. The plot doesn't make any fucking sense. The VFX are average,
Yeah.
I'd say. That might be the only thing that it is I can give it a good enough score on.
They couldn't be bothered to properly feather Judi Dench's hair like half the
Yeah.
time, and you could see it. Like it was
You
really
can see,
bad.
like green screen in her hair.
Yeah, you
pretty
could literally
much,
see a
yeah.
green glow and like the follicles being like really like jagged and like matte.
Yeah,
It was really
it's
bad.
pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Anyway, we aside from spoiling it, which I don't think I could do because
Yeah, who
it
cares?
literally doesn't matter anyway. The whole like nothing is closed in this story.
It seems like it's
Nothing
going
is
to end about
closed.
3 times.
Like they have about 3 you know when the music,
Swells.
swells up and you have the full band playing, the full orchestra playing, and it pans out slowly. It does that about 3 times before the movie actually finishes.
That probably where it was actually supposed to finish 3 times during the production.
That first time when they're in like the elf city would have been fine. Would have been fine.
Yeah, after they congratulate Holly, like, good work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go get him, and it starts panning outside of the building. That's like an ending
would have
shot.
been fine. And then they did it twice more after that, after they break the Worf out of prison.
Yeah.
And then sail off into the sunset.
I feel like that's pretty much all we have to talk about with the movie.
Yeah, look. I said in Split View I was going to do notes about this. One, I already did that once for this movie, and that was enough. So maybe the next movie we watch, I'll take some more serious notes about it, but I don't really want to talk about this movie any more than I already have. 23 minutes and 18 seconds.
We could cut out that whole, like, part where we were racist at the beginning, though. So it's going to be like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
What are you talking about?
It's going to be 10 minutes after we cut out all this heinous racist shit that we did.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah. Don't watch this movie unless you hate yourself, just like I hate myself.
Or unless you want to watch a good bad movie.
Twice. I've watched this movie twice.
Yeah.
See ya. Don't watch it. Bye.
Goodbye.
Don't. Really don't.